Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be covering the current event / tournament, talking about is it worth it, and completely breaking down all of the new champions and tournaments coming up. So let's get into it. Alrighty, today we got this news post that went live talking about Sikara available for fusion, and it's basically saying for a short time you'll be able to fuse Sakura in the summoning portal, and then we'll also give you a chance to get her sister Lika soon. So Sakura and Lika are barbarians that are epics, and they have tandem bonuses that basically revive them when they die. So you wouldn't have to bring somebody that revives your team if you're going like a DPS speed farming strategy. I'll go over them here in a little bit, but they also introduced some new champions to the game. So Stitched Beast, Armentine, Skeleton are brand new, and then Grumbler and Honor Guard are actually dwarves that were introduced to the game, just a little bit ago. So all four of these, required fusion champions are newer to the game, but they will be available in, and able to farm like in a specific dungeon. We can see the spider is the Stitched Beast, the Armentine Skeleton is going to be Fire Knight, and so on. So you will be able to farm these if you are diligent. I will say I did about 115 spider runs today and I did not get a Stitched Beast. So I'm guessing the drop rate of Stitched Beast is somewhere in the 1 to 2% area. So you're probably going to have to do somewhere, 50 to 150 runs to get the Stitched Beast out of the spider. I did about 115, something like that, and didn't get him. So, it's very feasible that I could do 200 or 300 spider runs just to get him. So the drop rate is very low. I'm guessing about 1 or 2%. I would like to see them bump that up to about 3 or 4%. But I'll go over these champions quickly and kind of give you my thoughts on them. Talk about, is the fusion for Sakura worth it? And I don't like how this shows level 1s. If we click on this, it shows her as a level 1. I like to actually find them in the index, because the index shows them as a level 60 with full ascension. So you can get a better picture of what you're getting. You can see it says Sakura level 60 with 6-star ascension. So I like to look at this when we're judging a character instead of clicking on the portrait and seeing the level 1. I hope they'll clear that up at some point, or let you switch between the two. Like click a button to switch between level 1 and a maxed out. But anyway, so Sakura, the first thing we're going to notice is she has a good base speed of 101. I do like that. The A1 is going to be attack one enemy and fill this champion's turn meter by 25% if critical. I like that A1. It's not amazing, but I do like it. It's okay. It has turn meter manipulation, which makes it decent. Attack all enemies 3 times. I like that. Each hit has a 40% chance of removing a buff, and we can buff that up to a 60% chance. So that's interesting on a 4-turn cooldown. It's decent. And then we've got attack all enemies with a 60% chance of placing a 25% weaken for 2 turns. We get this to a 4-turn cooldown. So the cool thing is we've got 2 AoE abilities that both have an effect. They both do something cool. And, with that, coupled with the fact that she's going to fill up her turn meter with her A1, she can be a pretty decent damage dealer in terms of like dungeon farming, and could maybe even do okay in the arena. The passive here is Lika on the same team will mean that she revives with 75% HP when killed. This would be kind of cool if you're, building like a Minotaur team, or you want to use them in the Ice Golem and they happen to die to the Reflect of the Terror Beast in the second wave or something. They're going to go ahead and revive without having to bring a champion that revives them. So, Sakura would be an okay champion for like a glass cannon attack speed farming, for potion dungeons and artifacts, dungeons like the dragon and the golem. I don't think she'd be very good in the Fire Knight with an A1 that only hits 1 time. But the rough thing about Sakura is we've got 4 plus 6 is 10 plus 8 is 18 epic skill books. That's brutal. I would like to see this come down to 13 or 14. That's just brutal. It's really tough for me to recommend somebody invest in a champion that takes that many books. That's a very expensive investment. They would have to be one of the best champions in the game for me to recommend a newer player start making that investment. But then we go to the sister that they said you're going to be able to fuse for, somewhere down the road. This is Lika. We can see also with a base speed of 101. Gap shot. Attack one enemy with a 30% chance of placing an extra hit. This attack is always critical. This is way worse than Sakura's A1. This is a below average A1 and not very good. The A2 here is attack one enemy, ignore 50% of the target's defense if their max HP is higher than this champion's max HP, which Lika being an attack character, it's probably going to proc pretty often and always against bosses. So with this being on a 2-turn cooldown, you've got an ability that provides some single target DPS, so it's okay. The A3 here is attack all enemies with a 35% chance of increasing the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 1 turn. We get this to a 5-turn cooldown. It's a decent ability in the arena, if they have abilities on cooldown, but it's not going to put their skills on cooldown. So if she goes first, hits the other team, it's not really going to affect their cooldowns at all. So, and then her passive is exactly the same. Revive the champion when killed. It's the same effect as Sakura and only available when on the same team as Sakura. So in my opinion, Sakura is much better than Lika. Lika just doesn't compare to her sister Sakura. I would much rather have Sakura. And then if we look at the books, we've got kind of a similar thing. We've got 7 plus 6 is 13. Plus 7 is 20. So you're talking about 38 epic books to book up this sister tandem. Man, that's a lot of epic skill books. I don't know if it's impactful enough for me to recommend going down that route. Sakura looks like an okay champion. Lika is a little bit underwhelming for an epic, but there's just too many books required. So I have an idea. I've been reading on Reddit and stuff. I've seen some people raging about the event. The community's not happy about this fusion either. And I have a way that Plarium could fix these fusions, make the community excited about them, and basically change nothing in terms of which champions it is. Have the fusion be Sakura and Lika. Don't have to buff or nerf the champions. And I know a way where the community would be excited about it. Okay, so hear me out. Have you ever played a game like Hearthstone? They have normal cards, and then they have a golden version of that card. So what I think Plarium should think about doing is having this fusion be a golden Sakura, be a special version of Sakura. It's going to look different cosmetically. It's going to be a collector's item. It'd be something to cool. You fuse into your golden Sakura. And then that champion comes with its skills maxed out. When you get a golden version of a champion, it comes, you don't need any books, it's maxed out. It's ready to go. That would be a cool idea to give the community something to be excited and work towards. People like to collect cool cosmetics. People would want to get their hands on a golden Sakura. And then if it comes not needing skill books, that would be even more incentive for people to really dive in and grind and get this collectible version of a champion that comes ready to go. I think that would be a great idea for Plarium to make these fusion events a lot more enticing. You'd feel like you need to rush in because this is your only chance to get your hands on a golden Sakura and it would come ready to go. I think that would be the route to go. If I just wanted to really quick throw that out there. I was kind of randomly thinking that as I was doing the video, so I thought I would kind of throw out my random thought process of how they could kind of go about making that fusion event just a little bit more enticing for the community and kind of, stop people raging or thinking they're underwhelming and keep the champions the same. So let's go with the tournaments and events that they've kind of mapped out. This is kind of interesting. They haven't really ever done this. I don't remember. They're kind of mapping out the next week here. So we go Spider Tournament, Fire Knight Tournament, Dragon Tournament, Ice Golem Tournament. Kind of cool that they're laying it out and kind of showing you what is coming in the next week. So today is the Spider Tournament, and I actually went ahead and grinded this out. You can see here Chosen Brad is number 1, so that's me. I'm at the top spot here in my group. I went ahead and I grinded this thing for a few hours today. I wanted to grind it to get some data for you guys for the video. The rewards on the right are okay. 75,000 silver is worthless. The 30 gems is basically an energy refill. The XP is cool. You know, that's by far, you know, probably the most redeeming quality of this. You know, that and the crit damage pieces and the 2 ancient shards are all kind of tied pretty close. The toxin, you know, pieces are extremely bad in my opinion. They need to rework that set to make it, you know, a 5% poison, especially if it's going to be a 4-piece set. But the crit damage set is pretty good, so that's a good reward. And then 2 ancient shards is okay as a reward. I do wish the rewards were a little bit better, but they are guaranteed if you farm the spider. And, you know, if you were looking for an excuse to grind the spider like I was, I've been kind of overdue on needing to grind out the spider. So I thought, you know, hey, today's my day. I'm going to do it. And, you know, I might as well do it when I'm getting some ancillary rewards. So, the fact that I got anything out of it when I was going to grind the spider anyway is good. But in terms of somebody asking, is it worth it? I'll break it down to you like this. Those rewards, if I pull up the calculator here, we've got 75,000 silver and nothing for energy, 30 gems. And then we've got 1 day of XP. Let's go here. Okay, so we've got, I would be willing to pay about $1.84 for this package here. But that's not including the gear. Not the shards either. So ancient shards. Okay, so I'd be willing to pay about $5.50 for those rewards as a pack. Now, when we throw in, I wouldn't be willing to pay anything for the toxin gear. The 2 pieces of crit being 5-star epic, I think is worth about $1. So you're looking at about $6.50. So yeah, that's kind of how much this is worth. Now, how much did it cost me to max this out? It took me, I've got my paper here. I charted all of my runs. It took me 112 runs to max out my rewards here. To get all of the rewards on the right, it took me 112 runs of Spider 20, which is about exactly 1,800 energy. And 1,800 energy equates to about $12 for somebody who is maxed out at 130 energy like me. I just threw a lot of numbers at you. I know, I'm going to simplify it now. So basically it cost me $12 to get, you know, $6 or $7 worth of rewards. But, you know, I was going to farm it anyway to get it to, you know, I'm not including all of the pieces I got from the spider. And, you know, these rewards are very underwhelming. I don't know why these rewards are so underwhelming. They have been doing better about your group rewards, like in the top 10 being better. Like they were giving away chicken for number 10 and like skill books for number 8 and 9. I don't know why that went away. You know, I was complimenting them on transitioning into the right direction and making the rewards in the group a little bit better. I was like, they're still not good enough, but they're headed in the right direction. And now all of a sudden they reverted back to the garbage rewards. I mean, number 2 doesn't even get 2 energy refills. So I don't know why they all of a sudden went backwards on that, but hopefully that changes. I guess they're justifying it by giving away the Stitched Beast, which is part of a fusion. So yeah, to break it down, I would say it's only worth it if you really are in a position where you are wanting to grind the spider like I was. I'm pretty end game, and I've needed to grind the spider for a while. So for me, it was worth it. If you're a newer / mid-game player, it probably isn't worth it. I don't see the rewards being worth all of the energy you're going to have to invest in possibly gems and pay-to-win investment to get these rewards. So that would be kind of my overall synopsis. And it took me 112 runs on stage 20. So obviously if you're under that, you know, it could take you upwards of 150 to 200 runs if you're not doing level 20. So keep that in mind. You've only got a day and a half to 2 days if you started earlier. So it's a lot of spider runs to do in a short amount of time. So my general consensus is it's not really worth it unless you were really wanting to farm the spider anyway. So that is that. And I'll also quickly overview the new champions. We've got the Stitched Beast and the undead guy. I don't remember the exact name, but I'll go over it here. Something skeleton. A maritime skeleton. It does look cool. I like the aesthetics, the kind of like purple flowing through him. I do like that. 93 base speed, an A1 with a 30% chance of placing a block buffs debuff. That's an okay A1. I like that. A2 is attack one enemy with an 80% chance of placing a block cooldown skills. 80% chance of placing a heal reduction. Not bad, especially for like the spirit dungeon. Could have some use, but not amazing. Attack one enemy and increase defense buff on this champion. That's really lame. It's a small version of increased defense. He's void. That's not a good enough A3, in my opinion. So yeah, a Maritime Skeleton for being a void rare, I would probably give like a C minus. I don't see anything super special there. Stitched Beast. This is the reward that I'm actually currently getting, or in position to get, if no one overtakes me, for winning my group. So hopefully he's a pretty good champion. I like the base speed of 101. That's good. Attack one enemy 2 times. That's a pretty lame A1. A2 is a 3-turn cooldown. Attack one enemy 2 times, and each hit with a chance to place a 25% weaken. That's not terrible, but it's also not good. Weaken can be good against bosses and stuff, but a pretty lame A2 all-encompassing. So an A3, attack one enemy, fully deplete the target's turn meter. That's a cool ability, I'll give it that, but the thing about abilities like this is you really have to like manually focus it. The AI really does a horrible job using these properly on auto. So and you know, also this doesn't work against like the clan boss or anything. So again, Stitched Beast is kind of underwhelming. He is a rare. We have to keep that in mind. I'll give him a C instead of a C minus because, you know, this is kind of a cool ability in certain situations. I could see people doing some interesting strats around that, you know, like a reduce or deplete turn meter strategy or something. So I'll give him a C instead of a C minus. But lame A1 and kind of lame A2, and then a hard to get consistent value out of A3. So that's kind of my opinion on those 2 new champions, and the dwarves aren't new. So yeah, that's going to kind of do it for everything I wanted to cover in this video. Just kind of, you know, talking about the events and the tournaments and the champions and the rewards and the news and all of that stuff. So, you know, definitely let me know what you think down in the comments. I always enjoy to hear your guys' input. So as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.